Whether you're buying or selling collectibles, it's important to have high-end evaluations.
And there is no one better at doing just that than the man here himself, Neil Sackmary from NeilBuys.com. How you doing, Neil?
Good morning.
Oh, fantastic. Good morning. How's it going? So happy to be here. It's so fantastic. Thanks so much.
No, it's great, but this is a really important part of your area of expertise to get into, because there are many other companies that people might go to that won't give you the right valuation or won't have the right equipment. So let's start off with that. The tools and equipment that you have in your facility are unlike anywhere else. What do you have to assess the value of people's items?
So one of the cool things we had on this takeover show for the Las Vegas Morning Blend is that in each segment we're highlighting the different things that we do. One of the things that's really important that my wife and I own are three $30,000 X-ray spectrometers. Now those X-ray spectrometers do not damage the item in any way. Other places, they do scratch testing and file testing, and that would inherently ruin or devalue the item, which is something the X-ray spectrometer does not do. So if the customer comes in and they want to sell their item, and sometimes it happens that somebody gets a price and it's not enough, or they want to find some other way to do something, or they just want to sell it, in a different way, the items never get damaged. And so that's something the X-ray spectrometer is really infamous for. And we have three of them to ensure that when the customer comes in, that they're dealt with in a timely manner.
And why is this evaluation process so important when it comes to whether you're buying or selling?
So when it comes to especially the jewelry, each different carat of jewelry has a different percentage of gold. So 18 karat is 75% gold, 14 karat is 58% gold. So what happens is that when we look at it, we're looking to see what the value of the gold is, as well as then one of the things that sets me apart from everyone else is that I'm looking at it for the resaleability of the piece. And so that's why when you take it to other places and they file test it, you're actually going to get less because now your piece is damaged. And so when you bring it into me, I'm going to tell you exactly what it's worth, exactly what it is that I can pay. When it comes to the Rolex watches or any type of pocket watches or anything like that, we do all that and nothing ever leaves your site.
With that in mind, why is it important for viewers watching at home to seek out places like NeilBuys to come and get their valuables valuated, or for a potential sale? Why should they seek out companies with your kind of equipment and expertise?
Because when the customer wants to come in, they not only want the best price, but they want to be treated with the respect that they deserve. They want somebody to look them in the eye. They understand that the business has to make. There's not a customer that I've ever dealt with that doesn't understand that the business has to make. But they just don't want to get taken. And so they want somebody to look at an item, they want to evaluate the diamond, they want to evaluate the Rolex, they want to evaluate the coin collection, the jewelry box. We sort it for free. We buy gold filled, we buy costume jewelry, we look at the costume jewelry, everything like this. Nothing ever leaves your site. And when it comes to the collectibles, we buy them all as well.
Well, we're talking about some collectibles, but that also can include the jewelry, as you mentioned, which includes diamonds. Yes. And diamonds are my jam. They are a girl's best friend. So what do you have to evaluate diamonds?
So when it comes to that, I have the diamond microscope, which allows me to be able to put a person's diamond on the screen. So when it comes in, if you have any larger diamonds, we're going to evaluate them and we're going to give the customer the very best price. Again, I'm a GIA graduate gemologist, and so that's something that I went to school for, now doing this for just under 30 years.
Well, I got an impression and the feeling that we should probably go and look at some diamonds right now.
Yes,
I'm in, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Which means we need to leave here right now.
We're running, you know what I'm saying?
I think we've just established more and more why NeilBuys is the only place people should come. So for your high-end valuations, you need to get down and see the man and check him out for more at NeilBuys.com.